Hey, Patrick Costas here. So, as many of you have heard, I'm sure, looks like Kim Jong-un launched another missile. It seems to be some kind of Scud missile that he tried to launch, and it failed once again. Apparently, they're not any better. I don't know what their issue is, if they just have really crappy, because to make these a Scud is not like the pinnacle of technology, ballistic missile technology. So I'm a little curious if we're doing something to take these things down or whatever. But if we are, I'm sure we're not going to publicize it. But anyway, this is obviously a big fat FU to Donald Trump from Mr. Un, the dear leader, or whatever the hell they call him. So it's going to do nothing but exacerbate the situation and make it even more tense and unstable than it already has become. The good news is Trump didn't launch an immediate attack or anything, and it looks like they're kind of going to try to go the diplomatic route at first, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know. That's what's so scary about this situation, is you really don't know where it's going to go. I mean, because you know, Trump's kind of an unknown entity at this point when it comes to these things. So, not exactly sure, and I still think that there's people in the deep state and in the establishment trying to kind of lead him astray, and they would love nothing more than to see him bogged down in some god-awful war somewhere. So I'm not convinced that all this is on the up and up, but I guess time will tell. Anyway, I'm going to show you a video here that I saw on InfoWars. It kind of goes over some of the things that have gone off, or some of the things North Korea has done recently, and what we may be looking at for a response from President Trump. Let me know what you think.
I'm not gonna sit here and take it anymore.
There's a chance that we could end up having a major conflict with North Korea. Absolutely.
만일 미국이 무모한 도발을 걸어온다면
The clock is about to run out on North Korea. For all of the bluster of Kim Jong-un and the North Korean display of live and fake missiles, thuggish bully Kim Jong-un has finally rallied the international community to action, urging peace. One last attempt at sanctions was the theme of the day at the United Nations.
According to UN Security Council Resolution 2321, a stated objective of this council is North Korea's abandonment of its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs. For the past 20 years, well-intentioned diplomatic efforts to halt these programs have failed. It is only by first dismantling them that there can be peace, stability, and economic prosperity for all of Northeast Asia. With each successive detonation and missile test, North Korea pushes Northeast Asia and the world closer to instability and broader conflict. The threat of a North Korean nuclear attack on Seoul or Tokyo is real, and it is likely only a matter of time before North Korea develops the capability to strike the U.S. mainland. Indeed, the DPRK has repeatedly claimed it plans to conduct such a strike. Given that rhetoric, the United States cannot idly stand by, nor can other members of this council who are within striking distance of North Korean missiles.
In a nation whose entire GDP is about $25 billion, and where its people have over recent decades been exposed to terrible suffering, reduced to eating leaves and the bark of trees, the Pyongyang regime has devoted its energies to developing nuclear weapons and the missiles to convey them. Last year alone, North Korea tested 2 nuclear devices and more than 24 ballistic missiles. This year, we've witnessed more missile tests, and I remind the Council that every one of those tests breaks 7 UN resolutions stretching back to Resolution 1695, passed unanimously in 2006.
However, Russia and China continue to attempt to bring North Korea to the table.
The two agreed to continue to seek the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula while refusing to accept North Korea's nuclear and missile strategy. While the statement expressed the hope that North Korea will prosper and become an active and constructive participant in the global arena, including the peaceful use of nuclear energy, Presidents Xi and Putin showed their strong commitment to leading their traditional ally to abide by the rules of the international community.
Peaceful settlement of the nuclear issue on the Korean Peninsula through dialogue and negotiations represent the only right choice that is practical and viable.
Meanwhile, the United States is readying for what appears to be the inevitable.
An absolutely extraordinary scene here at the White House this afternoon as busloads of senators arrived in the West Executive Drive here at the White House and made their way into a briefing room at the Eisenhower Executive Office Building for what was a very long briefing on North Korea.
I believe the best way to solve this problem is to eradicate the leadership. And I don't mean, I'm talking about those who are closest in making the decisions that North Korea is following now. Now, I don't think this is something, I don't want to say any more than that, okay? There's no reason to say any more than that. That's what I believe we need to do.
The clock is ticking, and under these conditions, at any moment, North Korea will have finally gotten exactly what they have been asking for. John Bound for Infowars.com.